I wanted to do a video on Disney. Um, I've talked about it quite a number of times on other channels. They've been relatively popular. Um, but I want to talk about Disney as far as its future as an investment, its stock, the company, those types of things, and it's not to be financial advice, that you shouldn't buy it because here's what I'm saying, but here's some things that I think people would need to think about, and I think we're in a unique position to discuss this. I've been a regular customer of Disney for probably over 2 decades, and I my family has gone to visit there at least once and usually twice a year, almost every year. And as a regular customer, I've seen this kind of steady decline, and I'll put some links to the videos that I've made on some of the other channels about my experiences there. They've been for my channel very very popular. So those are some of these are things that I see as a customer. And granted, I have a different lens because my background in being kind of in executive education is teaching executives about how to look at their organization as a customer, and then innovating and redesigning their organization around customer needs and wants. And my belief, from what I've seen, is that Disney has kind of lost the plot as far as designing an organization that really is close to the customer. Now, they have a great product still because of past efforts, if you will. But I see a lot of headwinds for them, and there are 8 things here that I thought I'd go through that I see as headwinds for Disney upcoming. And the first one is that COVID euphoria is starting to dissipate. So, what I mean by that, well, everybody locked down for really a year or two, uh, couldn't get around. Maybe we're afraid to get around. But that didn't stop me. I still went during COVID to visit Disney. But once people felt safe or safe enough, and all the craziness with regards to the actions taken, um, people wanted to get out, and I think that has led to pretty strong income statements because people have gotten out and gone to the parks and wanted to participate in something with their family other than sitting around and watching Netflix or Disney Plus or Amazon Prime or whatever on their TV. And then as this dissipates, this is going to be a headwind because people that'll run its course and people get back to normal vacations. That's the thing. It's like you've been able to save up for 2 years because you haven't been able to go anywhere. The second thing is the recession. I think that's upcoming is really going to affect Disney because their biggest moneymaker right now is the parks, and they have raised their prices so much. Uh, you can take a European vacation now for the price of going to Disney for a week, which is just insane. I've watched the prices go up from when 20 years ago, or even back when I went in 1971 when it first opened with my family. And that would be me as a child back then. I'm not that old. I am old. But it's gotten very expensive, and as the recession takes hold, those higher prices are. I could see them having to backpedal on that to get the audience that they need to fill the parks. Everything has gone up. The merchandise, the food. I mean, it's really it's overpriced. Let's be honest. They have charged so much more, and they're getting away with it. Like I said, because I think it has to do with this COVID euphoria. of people being able to vacation. Once again, they've saved up money for 2 years, or the government's given them money, which is nuts. But that's a second reason is when the recession takes hold, people are one of the first thing. Why go to Disney? There's other places we can go and have fun as a family. The third thing is they've really upset their target customer, and I've talked about this in a number of other episodes too, on different channels, which is they've really made their customer mad, and you got to remember who their customer is. It's parents. Their parents are the ones that are going to make the decisions, and if there's one thing that has been evident, is that parents want control of their own kids. And, Disney's trying to get in the middle of this, trying to be social warriors or whatever you want to call it. And I think that's a huge mistake. And there's going to be backlash associated with that because people go, Disney type of thing. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of like that right now too. And all my children are grown and, out of the house. But yeah, I just think that trying to make political statements, social statements, which is the big thing, is a huge mistake when you're messing with parents that make decisions on pocketbook types of issues for your organization. And they've for whatever reason they're ignoring them, and I think they do that as a cost. Oh, we've got such a great brand. I don't know what's going through their head. The fourth reason is the poor movie performance. This Thor thing, they saw box office profits down 68%, associated with Thor, Love and Thunder, or whatever it is. And they've had a number of bombs, associated with some of their releases. They've had Black Widow would be another example, but they've had multiple things that have come out, and they've bombed at the box office. And I'm all for innovation, but when you keep putting out a crap product, then people are going to get tired of going and seeing your shows. So that's a fourth thing. The fifth thing is Disney Plus recently has become a real drag, and they're gaining subscribers, but now their churn rate is up 30% from where it was. And that churn rate of people, leaving, I think goes back to some of these things about upsetting your target customer. I don't know all the issues, but it's costing them more money to market for, in association with Disney Plus, dragging down their profits, trying to build this thing. And maybe it's run its course. If things get hot like this, when Netflix first came out, everybody wanted to be part of it, but now everybody's copying, and there just isn't as much run in the revenue there. I mentioned theme parks. That's the sixth thing, but they've scaled back. I mean, you listen to people, the Imagineers and the cast members, and you look at some of the things that they're posting online. They're basically, or even the vloggers that go out, they're basically saying, oh, well, they've really scaled back on their original big plans. And, Walt Disney was the big plan guy, right? He's the guy that's go out there, and his brother was the finance guy, and tell him, well, you can't do all that. And Walt Disney say, we're going to do it anyway, because he knew, to dream big. And right now they're really dreaming small, and that to me hurts their brand. That isn't what I think of Disney as. They're always something big, something unexpected and new and fresh, and those types of things, and they have that problem there. But I've also seen rides break down, something that you didn't see as often. You never saw it probably 10 years or more ago. Now you see it all the time. The rides going down, just, I don't know. And I've mentioned, the cost of things, not like tickets, the daily tickets, but also all the other ancillary things that come with that, food and, a place to stay and, it just goes on and on. They're even charging you now. Used to be you have the fast pass, right? You go in and you get into the park and you go in and scan your thing. Now you got to pay for that. On an app that didn't work very well at the beginning. I just there's something not fluent within there that has caused this, and I've been seeing it slowly over the last decade, but it's really increased now. You can tell everything's really a cost conscious type of an effort where overcharging for things and not maybe paying for maintenance on things, dreaming small. Everything's just kind of like, ooh, let's make it not good. And in an area with theme parks where you need, where it's a big revenue producer, do more of it, think bigger, but that isn't where they're spending their time and money. A seventh thing is ESPN. It was a cash cow, let's say even back in 2011, it was so novel, but just like everything else, things need a refresh. It's also, they become justice warriors too. I mean, they used to have a cash flow back in 2011 at 61.5%, 2021, 25%, 2013 or 23, they're expecting to be in single digits. So there's this, and I just fear the eighth thing, which is Bob Chapek. That his mindset is so oriented around cost, or at least that's the belief. You hear it from cast members, you hear it from Imagineers. More importantly, you hear it from customers. His image now, and I was surprised when they, re-upped his being CEO, but the price of the stock is now, it was in the 80s, upper 80s. I think it's in the low 90s this week, but it has really backed off. They're doing a lot of wrong things, thinking that they can save their way, save money, and increase revenue at the same time. And they're doing their best, but they're really digging it in pretty deep. So those are 8 reasons why I think they're going to be a bad future investment. I hope I'm wrong. I hope things change there. But I see these 8 headwinds are really something that my expectation is that Disney is not going to be, a great investment 2023, forward until things change there. And I just don't see that happening right now. So anyway, that's what I wanted to cover in this episode. And remember, there's always a better way.